welcome to the second chakra asana practice. Thank you for joining me. We are going to focus in on the hips, the whole pelvic region, which is where the second chakra is located. And as we are moving through our practice, the color orange is the color that the second chakra vibrates to. So if you are a person that visualizes easily, you can picture kind of a glowing orange ball at the second chakra, or between the hips and behind the pubic bone and in front of the sacrum. So let's start up in table on your hands and knees. Feel the fingers spread apart, hands right underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Inhale, belly drops, tailbone and head lift. And then exhale, tuck the tailbone and the chin round to the back. Inhale, open the front of the body. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, the chin. One more time, inhale. And exhale. Come back to a flat back. Take your right foot and step it forward between your hands. Take your left leg and slide it back behind you. Stack the right knee over the ankle. We're going to walk the hands up to the front thigh. Just let the hips sink down, let gravity take them. Breathe here. Take your right hand to the floor. Left arm is going to reach up and over the ear. We find this big stretch all the way down through the left side of the body, through the left hip, maybe even down to the inner thigh. Inhale, come back up to the center, take your hands to the floor, step back into table. This time turn the fingers in towards the knees. So the pinkies are in the center of your mat, thumbs are on the outside of your mat. Inhale, belly drops, tailbone and head lift. Exhale, round the back. Inhale, front of the body opens. Exhale, open the back body. One more time. Come back to a flat back. Flip your hands around. This time take your left foot forward between the hands. Walk your hands to your thigh. If your back knee is feeling uncomfortable at all, you can always take a blanket and stick it right underneath the knee. Left hand comes down to the floor. Bring the right arm up overhead and then maybe over the ear just a bit. Breathe here. Inhale, come back up, take your hands to the floor. This time step back, toes curl under, downward facing dog. So your hands are shoulder width apart. Press down through the index finger and your thumb. Widen the upper arm bones away from each other. Lift your tailbone up and then turn it down towards your heels. So you feel that little lift in your lower belly. Let the heels melt towards the floor. So the second chakra is the water element. And it has to do with a lot of things, but how we flow in our life, or how we face resistance. Second chakra is our emotions. It's also our sexuality, how we give and receive. And look forward between your hands. Walk the feet forward into a forward fold. Inhale, bring the arms all the way overhead, palms come together. Exhale, fold forward again. Inhale up, half forward fold. Hands on the floor or on your legs. Roll your shoulders back. Reach through your tail and your crown. Exhale, full fold. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half fold. Exhale, full fold. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Last time. Inhale, half fold. Exhale, full fold. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale to your heart. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half fold. Exhale, left foot takes a giant step behind you. Spin your heel to the floor. Arch of your back foot lines up with the heel of your front foot. Come up to Warrior Two. Warrior Two, stack that knee over the ankle. Draw your left thigh bone back. Tuck your tailbone and the right sits bone. Reach through the arms, eyes gaze out past the right fingers. Take your breath all the way in to this second chakra, behind your pubic bone and in front of your sacrum, through both hip bones. Reach forward, take your right hand to the floor in front of the heel. Take that left arm up overhead. Eyes can look towards the top hand, forward or down. Let your hips sink down. Orange ball of energy in the pelvis. Exhale, bring that left hand down to the floor. Spin on your back heel so that you're up on your toes of your left foot, and then drop your left knee to the floor. Now your hands are inside, arch side of your right foot. This is lizard pose. You can stay right here. If you want to go a little further, you can take the forearms to the floor. If you want to go even further, and this is an option with the arms straight as well, is to lift your back leg. So you could have forearms on the floor, or you could have hands on the floor for that variation. Breathe here. Feel your hips expand. Right hip to the right, left hip to the left. Walk your hands to the floor. If they're not there, bring your left knee, your back knee down to the ground. Now we're going to bend the back leg. Take your right hand, reach around behind you. Now you have a twist. Hold on to the ankle. Draw the ankle away from the body. Roll the right shoulder open. Let's release. Walk the hands back around in front. Lift your back knee and step back, downward facing dog. So we breathe here into a place where maybe you feel resistance. Maybe it's in your physical body. Maybe it's with a situation or a relationship or a person in your life. And we breathe here. Noticing the charge that resistance brings up in you. Right? Do you clench up? Does your heart beat faster? Do you scowl or clench your jaw? Now let's just breathe here with that. Look forward between your hands. Take your left foot, step it forward. Right heel spins to the floor. Come up to warrior two. Stack the left knee over the ankle. Right thigh bone presses back. Tuck the tailbone. Sink into the front knee. Reach forward, left hand to the floor in front of the heel, right arm overhead. Exhaling, right hand comes to the floor, spin your right heel up to the sky, so you're on your toes, and drop that right knee to the ground. Now your hands are arched side of your left foot. Lizard pose. This side might feel different than the other. Our hips oftentimes are different in their tightness or openness. So maybe you come down to your forearms on this side. Maybe the back knee lifts up. Release the back knee down, walk up onto your hands. Bend your right knee, take your left hand around for the ankle. Roll that left shoulder open, press the heel away. Breathe here. Release, take the hands to the floor, step back, downward dog. Looking forward between your hands, step your feet to the outside edges of your hands. Toes are turned out at about a 45-degree angle, and come down into a squat. Your heels might not be on the floor, and that's okay. If they're not, first thing to try is to step a little bit wider apart. And if they still don't come down to the ground, no worries. Sometimes people's ankle bones and lower leg bones just line up so that they aren't able to have this sharp bend of an angle. And so if that's the case, no worries. Take the elbows to the insides of the knees, palms together. Make your spine as long as it can go. So sink through the tailbone, reach through the crown of the head. This is a wonderful pose for digestion. It's wonderful for opening up the hips, the back, the hamstrings. It's a great antidote to all of our American or westernized sitting in chairs and cars so much. Let's take the right hand to the floor. Feel the right tricep press into the knee. Left arm lifts overhead. So you have a twist here. You might want to stay here. Or if you would like, you can bind the pose so that left arm reaches around, the right arm reaches around, and maybe they connect. If the hands are touching, then roll that shoulder open, open the chest towards the sky. So you're here or here. Upper body's doing the same thing. Exhale, release, unwind, left tricep into the left knee. Inhale, bring the right arm up overhead. Again, bind to this pose or keep your twist open. And release, bring the hands to the floor. Put your hands on the floor, put your weight into your hands. Inhale, straighten the legs, turn the feet so that they're parallel, and walk back to downward facing dog. inhale, come forward to plank pose. Top of your push-up, hug the navel up, lift the thigh bones, and lower all the way to the floor. Uncurl the toes, interlace the hands behind you. Inhale and lift, arms, legs, head. And release back down, hands under the shoulders, toes curl under, downward dog. Inhale, bring your right leg up behind you. Roll that right hip higher than the left. Bend the knee. And then release. Bring the right knee forward between the hands for pigeon. Or maybe if there's a little more openness in the hip, take the knee to the outside edge of the wrist. Left leg slides back behind you. Now if you notice yourself tipping off to the right, take a pillow or a blanket and stick it right under that right sits bone and right thigh to keep your hips balanced. This is what we're focusing in on. From here, walk the hands forward, maybe to the forearms, maybe with the arms extended out in front. The hips have been called the junk drawer of the body. Anytime we come up on an emotion or a situation or a feeling or a belief that we're not quite sure what to do with, we stuff it in our hips. Along with the fact that our hips are very thickly muscled, there's a lot of room for this hip work to be powerful. Powerful emotionally, powerful physically. Feel the hips expand as you breathe into them. Picture that orange ball of energy. Walk your hands back in. Under your shoulders, curl your back toes under, and then step back into downward dog. And shake out that right leg as you need to. Let's inhale, bring your left leg up behind you, roll the hip higher, bend the knee, and then release. Take that left knee forward between the hands or to the outside edge of that left hand. Right leg slides behind you and start to come forward. Forehead resting towards the floor or upper body melting down. Breathing energy in, right hip widening right, left hip widening to the left. Expanding forward through the pubic bone, back through the sacrum. And any emotions that maybe have been with you throughout this practice or have been with you today, just acknowledge them and welcome them. Welcome them with love and acceptance. Walk your hands back in underneath your shoulders. Curl your back toes under. Step back. Downward dog, and just shake out that left leg. Let's drop the knees to the floor. Uncurl your toes. Sit back in child's pose. Hands reaching for the heels. Forehead resting. So this chakra is the water element. It's the fluidity. It's everything that's liquid in our bodies. Inhale, come up to sit on your heels. And then come around to cobbler pose, or Svadhisthana. Bring the soles of your feet together. Pull the heels in towards the body. And roll the shoulders back, lift the heart. Reach out through the crown of your head. And now close your eyes. Start to feel this pose from the inside. Notice where this pose is allowing you to access in your body. Bring your hands under your knees. Bring the knees together. Come down onto your back. On your back, start with your knees in at your chest. And then take happy baby pose. Knees pull back towards the shoulders, feet press towards the sky, and then your tailbone rolls towards the front of your mat. Picturing what the water in your life is like. Is it a still pond? Is it a rushing river? Maybe it's just a trickle. Or maybe it is vast like the ocean. Bring the feet together into cobbler, soles of the feet pressing together, open the knees. Is your water hot or cold? Maybe lukewarm. What color is your water? And what does it taste like? Sweet or salty? Pure? How does the water flow in your life? Release, bring your knees back to your chest, hug them in. From here, you may wish to do a few more poses or continue with your practice. You may wish to take the legs out in front and come into Shavasana. Or maybe you wish to come up to a seated position and do a bit of meditation. So make the rest of your practice whatever your body is guiding you towards right now. Thank you for joining me on this journey in the second chakra. Namaste.